I'm glad to come your way again, and I hope this meets you at a good time. I bring you greetings from wherever you are located around the globe. I still remain Mabel N. Onoruvier, aka Mega Pastor, your Chamberlain Generation Nest family, your coach, your counselor, and mentor. Last time we came on board, we looked at who a teenager or an adolescent is. And having done that, I want us to look into this topic together today, getting yourself ready for the future. How do you get yourself ready for the future? You cannot get yourself ready for what you don't even know. So, what is the future? The future is the time ahead of you. The future is a time that will exist after now, a later time, and after years. That is the future. And funny enough, everyone had opportunity when I meet young people to ask them what kind of future they would like to have. Do you want a bright future filled with joy, peace, and prosperity? Or you want a dark future of regret, pain, and tears? And of course, everyone loves what is good. So they will always tell you they want a bright future. But a bright future doesn't fall on anyone's lap just like that. A bright future doesn't come across by wishes, by hoping it. A bright future is the output of your today's input. What are you doing right now to secure a bright future for yourself? What are you doing right now to make your tomorrow beautiful? It's in your hand. So it depends on what you're doing right now. How are you enhancing your ability? How are you making yourself able? What are you doing to get yourself ready? All these questions you must ask yourself and sincerely answer to be able to put yourself in that place where your future can be bright. You don't get into a future of good prospect, of joy, of peace, of prosperity just by wishing for it, like I just said. And of course, my mom used to tell me when I was a teenager too that it's not easy to build, but it's very, very so easy to destroy or to scatter. For instance, if you look at the television set or even your phone, let's use your phone. Your phone is something that is always in your hand. The work, the prowess, the intellectuality, organization, planning, preparation that is put into making that phone that is in your hand is not easy. But you can just pick your phone and smash it on the wall and it's done. It's over, it's destroyed. So building is not an easy task. But getting a dark future, a gloomy future, a grave or a grim future, a future of regret, pain, and tears is cheap and easy as at now because you are doing nothing. You are not working at anything. You are not going to school. You are not learning a trade. You are not learning a skill. Nothing is being done. So it's just easy to see it and loaf around. It's very cheap. Then in your future, you shed tears. But when you are learning something right now, going to school, studying, reading, making sure you pass your exam, it's a building process. And that is always so tough, so difficult for any human to really get into and achieve, except you are intentional, you are deliberate, you are ready to persevere, to bend yourself to achieve what you want to see in your future. To scatter is easier than to build or organize. So today, as our time will take us, we'll definitely break it down into one, two, three, four, five. I want to take us through the what I call the VPPSA tip of getting yourself ready for the future. The number one, okay, the VPPSA. V is for visualization, P is for planning, the second P is for preparation, the S is self appraisal, and the A is actualization or accomplishment. So we are going to, depending on how much our time will allow us today, however, we'll go ahead for now and see. I hope we are able to carry through with visualization for today. Visualization means creating a mental image of a goal you would like to achieve in the future. You visualize using your mind, the eyes of your mind. You clear it wide open through your thoughts, through deep imagination. You see your future. This is not something you do once and for all. It is a continuous process, but the first thing you visualize, you begin to build on it. Visualization is seeing the picture of what you want ahead of you. How far you can see is how far you can get. If you cannot see it, you cannot achieve it. The reason why our goals are difficult for us to achieve is because we lack visualization ability. So even if this is the only thing I do with us today, we'll continue from here next time. So let's do this together. Visualization is a very positive exercise. Let us take a few seconds to handle this. Step one of visualization is to close your eyes. Close your eyes and begin to close your physical eyes and begin to open up the eyes of your mind. As you do this, be grateful for your present. You may not have reached where you want to be, but be grateful for where you are now. Express gratitude for being alive. Some people of your age are dead. Some have one scandal or the other on their heads to clear. Some can't go to school because their parents cannot afford it. They can't afford an education for them. Even some parents cannot afford data for their children to listen to what you are listening to right now. Some of your mates are in welfare, what I call the young people's prison. They are locked up there for one reason or the other. But you are walking free on the streets. Be grateful. Just be grateful for everything that God has done for you and maybe your family too. Relieve and clear your head of all huge expectation on you. Focus on your mind. Just keep your thoughts straight and deep right now. as you are about to visualize. Now begin to visualize yourself in the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years ahead of you. Open your mind's eye and begin to visualize. Visualize your beautiful future. If you are in primary school right now, begin to visualize yourself in secondary school. If you are already in secondary school, begin to visualize that beautiful result you're going to have at the end of your SS3 to get into your university. If you're already in varsity, begin to visualize, your matriculation, your process through school. Visualize your convocation with a flying color, with a minimum of a second class upper or even a first class. Begin to visualize your NYSC. Visualize your master's if you wish to have a master's immediately after your first degree. Begin to visualize the kind of job, the kind of business. If you want to be an entrepreneur, begin to visualize it. You can even visualize the kind of husband or wife you would want to have. Visualize, visualize, visualize. Open your mind's eyes and see ahead of you. I was 16 when I visualized my marriage, and I married 12 years after. When you visualize, if the man or woman that is in your mind's eye comes across you, it is easy to recognize. So it is in all other areas, in your career and every other area of your life. Begin to visualize. Visualize it. Visualization guides you in knowing what you should and should not do. I am sure you saw something. The last step of visualization is writing down what you have visualized. You can open your eyes now and write down what you have seen. Sorry, I said I married 12 years after. I actually married 14 years after. Write down what you have visualized. Write it down. And of course, I said our first P in the VPPSA is planning. The last step of visualization is writing down, and the first step of planning is looking at what you have written down and set a goal. Planning is the process of making a plan. Planning leads to more awareness from what you have visualized. You must plan what you need to do around your goals. For the purpose of the age bracket I am working with right now, which are teenagers, we would look at two major planning processes, which is short-term and long-term. Short-term planning is something you want to achieve soon, e.g. your terminal exam, your semester exam. You are reading to pass for each term to get to the next class. Your long term is something you want to achieve in the future, which takes a longer time, but must be done strategically and tactfully. E.g., your educational or your academic goal, money goals, with financial goals, your life goals, your future marriage goals, These are all long-term goals. A long-term goal is a sum total of your short-term goals. All your short-term goals put together is what will produce a beautiful long-term goal for you. You see that planning on your short-term goal is very important if you want your future to be bright. I will stop here today, and when I come again, we will look at the second P of our VPPSA. God bless you for listening. If you have any question, you can send me a message on email at megapastor@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at megapastor. You can join the Generation Next family on Facebook, and I will send us a link later where we can also join on the WhatsApp group, the Generation Next family. God bless you. I love you until I see you again.